house?
If you're thinking about it, just hire them.
Was she clear?
And so explain insurance.
Oh, wow. We want Lena and Steven.
And Lightbox Homes.
Saldivia,
What do they
Steven
say?
Jones. Saldivia Jones to run in 2028 for president because they truly make renos great again. And we experienced that firsthand. So we will be your campaign managers because we love you so much.
Which means they won't be able to work on your house.
Or will they? Well, in 2020, we decided to expand our Grant Park home, and that was during COVID. And we hired a builder, and the project did not turn out very well. It took 3 years of him not doing what he was supposed to do, what he was contracted to do. And then he eventually ended up abandoning the project. Not to mention taking our money and using it for other projects. It was awful, awful. We honestly didn't know if we would have a home to move back into. So, coincidentally, we saw Steven at a Greek restaurant and we were telling him our sorrows. And he said, well, we can fix that for you. And we were like, you can? You could actually save us? So Lena and Steven came to the house and they did a complete punch out and finished the renovation for us. And we were grateful, right? Because we actually got to move back into our home. We had lived in that house at that point for 17, 18 years. We weren't sure if we were gonna come back to it, and it's 2023, and at that point, and we were able to move back. And it was with that we trusted them to use them for other projects.
The minute Lena came on site with her clipboard and her asking questions, we immediately had a confidence that this was going to work, that she was going to help guide us through this process at a fair price to move back into our house. And that is actually a priceless thing to give somebody. Okay, then now that we were on the Saldivia Jones train, Elise manages a small condo in Midtown.
Yes.
And Lena came in with her clipboard again and listened and came up with a plan and completely knocked it out. It was so easy that you almost get addicted to using them.
Yeah, it was so easy that it actually made us upset because our old project was so hard and it didn't have to be so hard. And we didn't know that because we were so in it.
So Lightbox Homes helped us with our primary residence, got that figured out. It was a great feeling to move back. Then we had this condo in Midtown that needed to be renovated fairly extensively. Lena brought her clipboard again and guided us through the process. That went really well. So now comes project number 3. There's a house in Grant Park. It's very old, had not been renovated maybe ever. It was not in great shape. And we had the confidence with Lightbox Homes to move forward. And you'll see the photos, you'll see the videos. It's every bit as beautiful in the photos and the video in real life.
What were your goals with that house?
To make money. No, so we were deciding, should we sell it? Should we rent it? Do we actually want to go through another renovation again, since our last experience took 3 years? And then we sat down with Lena and Steven and we compared apples to oranges, and they gave us good advice and said, you know, if you want to create wealth, you need to hang on to a home as long as possible. I think you should consider remodeling and investing in the home. So we did. We took a leap of faith, although it wasn't much of a leap because we already had trusted them. And so we wanted to, something that was important to me is that because we are in a historic community, we wanted to preserve the historic charm of the house. So it was important to me that we could restore everything as possible, make sure that the front looked like it did in the 1930s. Something as simple as glass doorknob details because that was characteristic of bungalow houses back in the 20s and 30s. We did that here. So we really just wanted to keep the integrity of the historic charm and be able to make a little money in the process by renting it. So a couple things with that. So she saw the house, she saw the condition of the house before it was renovated, and it was rough. And she looked at it, and then she was like, "Guys, we can convert this 2-1 into a 3-2."
Like, oh,
And
really?
I was like, "Oh, okay." And she showed us the plans, and I'm like, "All right, okay, I see it. I think I see it," but she saw it a lot better. And so that in itself, that we didn't have to hire a designer on top of the construction, that she provided that service, that design service for us. So that was, for me, super helpful. And then the other thing that was also very helpful was that I get very decision fatigued, because when picking out like fixtures, countertops, lighting, it's a lot, you guys. And Lena was able to provide 3 design concepts, all 3 absolutely beautiful. And then it was easy for me to say, I like this one the best. And then she put everything in a spreadsheet, completely organized, including the links as to where she bought it from. So in the future, if you need to replace that item, you know how to do that. It's the little things. Everything was all in one place. And look at this. Look, this is all her.
Yeah. Lightbox Homes really impressed me even at the beginning. Lena came for her first walkthrough and used her phone to do some measurements. Wasn't exactly sure what she was doing. In 48 hours, we had a new footprint in our email to approve. You don't get that anywhere else.
Certainly. I mean, we met, unlike, again, my other experience, they never met with us, right? They didn't meet with us.
The previous builder.
The previous builder, yeah. So with Lena, there was constant communication every single day. And what I thought was special about working with Lena is that she treated this project like it was her own house. If I had an idea, she was not, that she thought something might be better, she very gently would say, "Yeah, that's nice, but you need to consider, for example, that you are renting this home and your renter may need or want something different, so you might want to try this approach." And so she also gave really, really good advice.
The house was completely torn down to the studs, the roof, the basement, even the floor joists behind us in the kitchen. Lena said we have to talk, and we came and talked to her, and the floor joists were all rotted and they were falling. She said, "We could try to put a floor over this, but you're gonna regret it so quickly." And of course, now that we trust her and we knew this was the right decision, it was an easy decision because of the transparency. So to recap the scope of work, the roof, new front yard landscaped, backyard completely landscaped, old deck torn off, new deck put on, floors completely refinished, and they're gorgeous from the 1920s
Yeah, these are the
or 30s.
original floors.
Original floors look absolutely amazing. They were so bad that the previous people living here were getting splinters from the floor because it was falling apart so badly. The doors were all replaced. Everything was repainted top to bottom. Crown molding put in. All new fixtures, lighting, etc. Bathrooms,
brand new windows
all
throughout
new
the
windows.
house.
Basically, it's a new house with a small amount of remaining frame on it. It was beautiful.
It was 4 months. 4 months. Actually, I was sad when they left because they were like family to me, and then it was just like empty, and I was just like, oh, I guess I won't see them as much anymore, and I'll miss you. But I am certainly grateful. I know it sounds silly, just for showing up and going through the process with us. The funniest one, which I know wasn't funny to Lena, was we had a sinkhole in the back, right? It was a surprise. I mean, oh, there's a sinkhole in the backyard. What do we do? And I know that she was worried about it. And unlike our other builder would have never told us, and we would have just discovered it later. Lena comes and approaches us and sits us down and says, guys, we have a problem. There's a hole in the back of your yard that it's unexplainable why it's there. And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, well, we have to fill it. And I'm like, okay. She's like, it might be $800. I'm like, so? That's not a problem. We were like shelling out like tens of thousands of dollars just to get through on a Tuesday. So for us, an $800 problem was not a problem at all. And more importantly, she came to us and told us that there was a problem. And let me tell you, in the best of renovation situations, stuff is always going to come up. So for me, it was just a breath of fresh air that the builder, that Lena and Steven said, hey guys, we discovered something. It wasn't in the plan. We need to fix it and we'll take care of it. And so for that, I thank them.
I think we can talk about it now. All right, tell the chimney story.
No, I'll let you tell the chimney. Okay.
Okay, so there's a story that we must share about the chimney. There was a fireplace in the living room. Keeping the fireplace would have made it impossible to make all the wonderful layout changes that needed to happen. Fireplaces are made of brick. They're not easy to move, but most importantly, they have chimneys. And in Grant Park, chimneys stick out above the roof, and the chimney needs to stay within historic design permissions. So Lena went to her clipboard and her team, and she came up with a plan where we still have a chimney on top of the house, but we don't have a fireplace anymore. I'll let her share more how she did that. You could call it magic, but it really helped the project because it unleashed a rearranging of the rooms that really became...
And it was magic because we also had to make sure we complied with the historic committee and making sure that the front of the house looked the same as before. So, and it did.
So if you drive past 781 Del Mar, you will see a chimney.
But more space in the house.
So how did we meet Lena and Steven and then eventually Lightbox Homes? In 2008, they had a flourishing photography career and they took our family photos. They were hired by one of our family members. They spent all day. They did a beautiful job. The attention to detail. It's amazing. You can see the similarities in how they ran one business to how they run the other one. And since then, they took a lot of photos over the years for us. They got out of the photo business, transitioned into the home construction, house flipping, real estate world. And again, that same service has been following them the whole time. It's now 2026. And we're still working with them. It was great running into Steven at a Greek restaurant when we were in a panic about our old project. He was the light of hope that we didn't know we needed. But we really enjoyed knowing them and working with them and hope to continue into the future.
So yes, we met them in 2008. They did a beautiful job photographing our family. We had a baby girl, and we all know how much we love our kids, and they captured, coincidentally, our daughter's name is Lena too. They did a beautiful job photographing her as she grew. Just one thing I'd like to add back then into now is that I could be picky and I know what I like. Her photographs, and we were photographers too a lifetime ago. So they're so talented that they did such a beautiful job. So I have to say, because we selected them to take our kids' picture, I mean, they must be amazing, and they are amazing. So when fast forward 10 something years, they brought that OCD, for lack of a better word, that attention to detail into the houses that they renovate, not just inside, guys, but outside. They just do a beautiful job. So if you're doing a cost plus model, I suggest definitely asking for receipts, which Lightbox Homes provided that every single week. You saw everything completely itemized and organized. And then the second thing I would recommend, just for anybody who's doing a renovation, and again, we learned this the hard way, is create a different email inbox with a different email address so that all your renovation notes, designs, contracts, plans, invoices, they all go into that inbox so that you're not scrambling to find an old email when you need something.
That's good advice. Yeah, transparency, financial transparency and communication. Yeah. You have to get that from your vendor. Your project's not going to go well. They provided that for us. If you don't end up using them, be sure you get those two things from whoever you pick.
Working with us?
If you're thinking about it, just hire them. You are wasting your time looking for anybody else because you won't find anybody better. You won't find anybody more trustworthy. You won't find a better friend. Just do it.
Was she clear?
100%.
Is that?
I mean, we named our kid after you. Where else can we go? I think that's a good move.
This was our idea.
By the way, this was their idea, which I love, but we did not pay them for this.